All right. So this one, it might be kind of short, but the thing is, it's so it's so funny. I just had to take the time to tell this story. Now, what I'm talking about here is an old married couple. He's in his 90s. She's like 20 something years younger than him. He's barely able to walk around still without a cane or anything. But boy, he looks like a very old man. Um, every time I see him, he looks just very old. Not a very high strung guy. They've both been fairly successful. They now have a nice house, a little bit of land. They have a place where they can enjoy the rest of their lives, probably without worrying about money too much. Now, she is a little bit younger, but still, getting up there. And she's very high strung, like very much high strung. Just to give you an example, and yes, this does matter. So I helped them get new. No, sorry, not new. I helped them get their first iPhones, first smartphone of any kind. And they can basically use email on their computer, open Word documents, print things. That's about the extent of their knowledge with technology, which is really common for a lot of people. So we go through the whole process of setting up their new phones and basically explaining how these things work and showing them, really basic, really simple things that you need to be able to do. Maps and this and that, and something for their doctor, and email, and phone, basic stuff. And one of the things that she wanted to make sure was on his phone is a meditation app because he was too stressed out, apparently. The thing is, it became apparent, incredibly obvious to me. The reason he's so stressed out is because of her. She is a ball of stress. She is just hyperactive, very reactive, um, which is probably great for the kind of job she had to get things done sort of no matter what. But boy, I'm sure she is very stressful to live with. And here's why. So when I'm helping them to learn the new phone, one thing that a lot of people do is they need to set a timer, which is very simple. And I don't remember the length of the time that we did for the demo, but you know how a phone works. If you set a timer for 30 seconds, in exactly 30 seconds, the timer will go off without fail, as long as the battery doesn't go dead, right? You don't even have to think about it. Okay, I set a timer. I think it was for 30 seconds. It wasn't very long because, you know, you don't want to sit around and wait for a 5 minute timer. So I just, set the timer, hit go, and with like 20 seconds in, she starts freaking out. Like, what do I do? What, the timer hasn't gone off. It's been 30 seconds. What do I do? What? Tell me what to do. Like, it's been long enough. Tell me what to do because it hasn't gone off yet. Tell me what. What do I do? What do I do? And then it finally goes off after I've told her a few times. It will go off when it's been that amount of time. So it's like in her head, 30 seconds went by in 15 seconds or whatever the time frame was. But I just have never seen someone get so riled up so quickly about I set a timer. It will go off in the correct amount of time. Why are you freaking out about this? It's really straightforward. I still don't fully understand that, but maybe it's just a thing with someone that's older and not understanding technology. I'm not sure. But she's done some other things that show me that she's probably stressful to be around. Um, like I'll get a message or an email or something, usually a message, and she'll say things like, "I can't print. What do I do?" It's like, okay, well, I need to troubleshoot to find the solution if you really want this to work soon. So trying to type out ways to troubleshoot printing with an old person is really challenging. They need things to be broken down very simply and step by step. So I, I don't always know what the problem really was and what they actually did to get it going, but somehow or another it happens. But um, yeah, things like that. It's just like it's not working. What do I do? Like I don't know. What do I do? Like it's almost like she doesn't even try or think about it or anything, and that's fine. But it's just um, it's just a very sort of hyper reactive way of doing things, which for certain jobs is probably great, but for living with that person, maybe it's a challenge. And so when she was saying that, he needed his meditations, I was like thinking to myself, yeah, he's a pretty low key guy, so you're probably the source of most of that. He's probably a little stressed out about his health too, but yeah, that was just a one of those things that you see playing out in front of you, and you can never really talk about it because I can't comment any of this to them, because they don't want to hear this, and I don't know anyone else that wants to hear this story personally. But I think there's something to learn there, and maybe he is cool with the way she is, and that's how they've lasted so long. Maybe that's part of the dynamic is he's super low key and she's super high key. Um, I don't know. It's interesting. The more people you meet, the more situations like this where the dynamic is not necessarily something I've seen before, and then you kind of have to sort of figure out like how this works because there's no template. There's no, well, if you're like this and this other person's like this, it'll be great and you'll be great forever. I don't think it works that way, but maybe one in a million. But yeah, it's just a funny situation that people are so interesting where they get to in their lives and how they got there. But that's all I've got for now. If you made it this far, thanks for listening.